Peace to the darkest minds of the light. Assalamu alaikum, hotep, namaste, jumbo, ashe, all the greetings of love and light. As I said, to the darkest minds of the light, I am NapahShadah, and this is another episode of the SipDown. And today we are graced with the one and only, the author, the founder of the Manosphere, the how do I say, the debonair extraordinaire gentleman, Obsidian Mumia Ali. Thank you for joining us, Obsidian.
Thank you. Nice
And yes, I am drinking just regular matcha tea today, nothing alcoholic. And I'll pass it on to my co-host, the beautiful Robin, and she can introduce herself and let us know what she's sipping on.
Peace, everybody. How are you doing today? I am just sipping on some tea as usual. Nothing spectacular, just some tea. Hi, Obsidian.
Hey, how you doing?
Peace, everybody.
Peace. And then Dulcinea, please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Dulcinea. I'm actually sipping on some rum punch tonight.
Oh.
All right. And without further ado, what about our guest? Obsidian, what are you sipping on?
Cherry Coke.
Cherry Coke. Wow. Is it diet?
No, just good old cherry Coke, man.
Okay.
I try to cut back on drinking soda, so this is the first time I've had soda in like 2 or 3 months.
So awesome. So awesome. So let's get right to it. For those of you who have been living under a rock or on a deserted island without internet, Obsidian is, he is, for, as we know, one of the founders, as I said, of the Manosphere. He's been, how long have you been on YouTube? I'd say 10 years?
No, not 10 years. Don't rush me into an early grave. It's been 7 years. Next year it'll be 8. So I started in 2015. So been 7 years.
When you started out, was this your platform as far as like male female issues? Were you doing that? Were you always an expert on that when you came on?
I don't consider myself an expert, but yeah, I was always, from day one, I wanted to have a conversation with the ladies. I felt that what was going on prior, the whole Oprah thing and whatnot, I always felt it was kind of contrived. So I wanted to try to push for something a bit more authentic, I guess you could say. So yeah.
So when you say Oprah, what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, major TV, network TV, academia, Hollywood, that sort of thing had always, Black women had always had access to it and had always been able to use those megaphones to kind of have a voice on what they thought their relationship with Black men were like. And I know I don't begrudge Black women that, but I always felt it was just a little bit skewed. The Black men that were brought in to have the conversations with them, if for lack of a better way of putting it, the Steve Harvey types were a bit. I don't have anything personal against them, but they were they were often saying things the ladies wanted to hear. Any relationship, as we all know, none of us are spring chickens here. Every relationship is going to entail saying things that the other side may not want to hear. And but it's necessary for both sides to kind of hear each other out and see if they can try to come to the middle and work things out. It's funny. We have this very romanticized view of how mating works for whatever reason, wherever we got it from, Disney, Hollywood, whatever. But when you really study it, it's a series of horse trading. It's a series of compromises. It's a series of deal making. And it's not as romantic as it's often made out to be. If you've been in a relationship of any length and duration, you find that it's a lot less romantic and a lot more pragmatic in terms of just making deals. I'll do this for that, that sort of thing. So,
well, when you say horse trade, are you saying like from the man's perspective with the women? Like, or are you just saying in general both?
Both of them.
Both. Okay. Because I remember when you say, I'm still on the talk show thing, we had the honorable Dr. Shahrazad, I call her Dr. Shahrazad Ali on, and she is the author of The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. And I remember her working the talk show circuits, if you also remember that.
Oh, yeah.
So do you think that was when it all sparked the whole pushback with is she one of the true pioneers of the manosphere, would you say? Or
Well, it's interesting you say that because, of course, the Black manosphere wouldn't have come along until, many decades later. But but in many ways, she was definitely a true trailblazer, no doubt about it. She was taking on literally an establishment that at the time, talking about the Oprah piece and all that, at the time, network TV and all the rest of it, it was pretty firmly in the camp of black men ain't sugar honey iced tea. And let me tell you all the different ways that black men ain't sugar honey iced tea. And she was really taking on that establishment pretty much, single-handed, one woman against it. So yeah, she plays a really big role in the development of what would be later become the Black manosphere decades later. Yeah, definitely.
right. And I remember when we did do the ladies on the SipDown before, when we did that interview, we got a lot of negative feedback. Everyone called us, mammies. What were the words? Mammies and echo chamber, that we were being an echo chamber, agreeing with everything. Why is it that
You got a lot of pushback from black women?
Oh yeah,
having Shahrazad Ali on?
Yeah, are you shocked about that?
Well, no, see, because the whole thing about popping a woman in the mouth, that sort of thing in her book, that I think it's like one line in an entire better part of 300-page book, is ridiculous. But what fascinates me about the ladies that push back against pick-me's, mammies, whatever you want to call them. So my question to them becomes, okay, so what's the alternative? Selling women that are not very attractive and are disagreeable? Guys are supposed to buy that? The pick-me's and the mammies, I don't know about anybody else. If anybody else has noticed this, I'm a guy, so I noticed this. I've noticed that the women that get accused of being pick-me's and mammies, they tend to be quite attractive. They're very easy on the eyes, and they're very pleasant. And the women that are, having a go at them tend to be not so very attractive and not so very pleasant. So my question to them is, okay, so guys are supposed to buy that? Guys are supposed to buy lesser attractive, more disagreeable women. For what purpose exactly?
Wait a minute, let me make sure I got that right. So you feel as though that the women that are not that attractive are disagreeable, and the women that are attractive are more agreeable?
The women that are accused of being pick-me's, that are accused of being mammies and Stepford wives and so on, I'm just making an observation that generally speaking, they tend to be pretty easy on the eyes, and they tend to be pretty, agreeable people. And I noticed that the critics of the black female critics of the pick-me's and mammies and so forth, Stepford wives and that sort of thing, I just noticed that they tend to be not as attractive, and they tend to be very disagreeable. And my question for them is, okay, because the black manosphere has attracted quite a few ladies in recent years.
Yes.
And quite a few of them are quite attractive, and they're accused of being pick-me's and all the rest. So what I'm saying to the female critics is, what are guys supposed to buy? Are they supposed to buy women that are less attractive and more disagreeable? For what?
Right. I see what you're saying. I mean, I agree with that. And I think I'm going to expound on it. I believe that a lot of what comes out of your personality also makes you physically attractive or physically unattractive. So, but I do want to, since we're on looks, and I love that, by the way, mods, please put the link to Obsidian's book, his latest book, out there. Obsidian, you have a new book. Yes, I have it.
Yeah.
And
the
so,
book of Obsidian, the ladies edition. Yeah.
Yes, the Book of Obsidian, the ladies edition. Now, as I told him, I'm working on that one. I'm working on the red book. It's the red book.
Yeah.
I read the black book, the first book.
Yeah. You know why it's colored red, right?
Kind of like the red tint.
No. Well, for one thing, it's my lady friend's favorite color is red.
Oh,
But another reason why is because I want to literally red pill the ladies. So it's a red pill book for the ladies.
ooh, I love it. I love it. You do have some very controversial, as usual. You never let us down as far as controversy.
Yeah.
You have some, you're rubbing some people the wrong way. Well, you're rubbing them the right way, but they feel like it's the wrong way. Let's talk about ladies and from a man's perspective, what you're doing with your book. What I do know, even though I'm still working on it, I know that you're just like, it's like you said, waking women up, like cold water splashed on the ladies. This shaking them, saying, look, if you want to be out there and you're in the, in the market for a mate, you gotta, these are the things that, listen to what men want, right? Like,
Yeah.
talk about that. So what about the looks? Let's start there. Is it okay to be, love you? Because, and this is also in homage to the late, great, as you call him, Saint Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
I have no problem calling Kevin a saint. Rest in power to our brother. So Kevin was out there, and then we're going to segue into, we're going to mesh it into what you're doing with your book. He was like, look, you're overweight. What's going on? You're not looking good. And the ladies were upset. I had issue, and I've talked to Kevin respectfully about it. I did. Always love and respect. I was like, why do they keep calling you if they get there and asking you to rate them and then getting upset about it? It's not like someone had a gun to their head.
Yeah.
So talk to us about your book and how you're following up, or you're also doing that kind of work in the book. Talk to us.
Yeah. Kevin is mentioned quite a bit in the book, as a matter of fact. I wrote the book. Let me see. I wrote it. I got started in 2021, and I finished it in early 2022, and then put it out in the spring. So Kevin was still alive at the time, and he's mentioned prominently throughout the book. And as far as ladies' looks are concerned, it's the secret weapon for any woman, because beautiful women know this. Beautiful women rarely, insofar as men are concerned, beautiful women rarely run into a whole lot of trouble with men in a general sense. They typically get all kind of free stuff. For example, beautiful women get free stuff all the time: free food, free drinks, free gifts, free trips. You go to the Jiffy Lube place. Can I fix your shocks for you for free? All kind of stuff. Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
No, I'm looking at Robin's face right now.
Because I'm up here saying, people that are not that attractive with big butts get those things too, right?
Well, there
and
is.
You might consider them overweight, but girls, see, the thing is what a person's preference is. What you might think is ugly, and Kevin Samuels might think is ugly to another man, or even overweight, but to another man, that shape that she got might be good looking to him.
How many men like Lizzo?
I don't know, but there is men that like her. But there is men that like her. But there is men that like her.
You can't think of any.
I don't know Lizzo. I don't know Lizzo.
How many men have you heard? How many men have you heard pining away for Lizzo?
I never asked. But here's the thing.
Never asked. Okay.
There are men that like bigger women. There are men that like medium women. There are men that like small
like BBWs. Speak about that, Obsidian.
Well, I think because I'm from Texas, so I mean they do like BBWs here, but I think it's about the niche. The more so you're going to a select few that like this, versus he's just saying generally what men tend to like, what men are seen with. And we do know that typically men like women of a certain size. Like, it has to be in shape. That's why I guess he brought up the Lizzo, because not typically men like out of shape women.
Or women that look like a can of busted biscuits.
I don't even think you should bring up names, but I'm gonna tell you something. I know some fine men that like big women.
Such as
men that like big women.
Such as, can you name? Are they well-known people?
Why do they have to be well known? Why
But
they?
but that's just it.
Be well known? Why can't
We can use well-known examples.
Why can't they just be men that like big women? What do they gotta be well known for?
Because that's how we do. We look at people. We look at notable examples and extrapolate from that what men want in women.
What he should want somebody is with a good mind that can keep a good house.
If you ain't got a good behind, he don't want to know about your mind.
Oh my gosh! Because I know you don't want us to start saying stuff about you men.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Robin. I told you, Obsidian's all here for. He doesn't want the echo chamber. I want to hear.
Well, but I think it is unfair because we do talk about men. We do want men of a certain height. Some girls don't want a guy under 6 foot. They will not deal with a guy under 6 foot for any reason. My husband's over 6 foot, but I lucked out. I didn't care. But a lot of girls are like that. A lot of girls do say that. They're like, oh, if he's not a certain height, then I don't want to deal with him. If he's a certain size, I don't want to deal with him. I don't have a lot of friends that are. I have a couple of friends like the niche, like you're saying, like the guys that like the bigger women, that like the bigger dudes, and they're like, oh, I love it. In wintertime, I get to rub up on their bellies and all this other stuff. I do not know a lot of women that say that.
Wow.
You know, it's funny. I've actually done shows about this. There are plus size women who refuse to get with their counterparts. They do not like it. They want a brother that's cut and buff.
Yes.
And get them. That's the thing. They get them too. There are bigger women that get the man that they want. Right. That's just the thing. And men don't have no problem being with them. It's really weird.
You just can't name any famous.
It could be a girl to me and people like Dulcinea and Nepal. We'd be like, oh, she ugly or whatever.
We can't name any famous ones.
She could have a banging shape, but we could be like, and a man would want her. And here we come walking down the street looking good, looking fine. And a man ain't think about us, but she all shaped up and stuff, but ugly. And he want her.
You talking about Butterface. You talking about the Butterface.
Talk to us about that.
I know I'm talking about a black man who want the black woman, and it ain't about some
She got a Butterface?
I don't.
What is that? Let me hold on, baby girl. Hold on, Freedom. 1 second, Freedom. Robin's also.
Right?
Robin also knows what is a butterface? So talk to us about that.
You don't know what a butterface is, Robin?
No, I don't.
A butterface means a woman that has a banging body, but her face is kind of tore up. So everything is fine but the face. Butterface.
But men want it.
Of course they do. As a matter of fact, science has found that for short-term mating, men go for butterfaces, and for long-term mating, men go for women that have pretty faces.
Oh.
Ain't that something?
It's a scientific fact.
And ain't it a scientific fact that we look for men with a mind, and we be looking for men with nice bodies. That's
true.
Dumb is a daggone doorknob.
That's true.
Dumb is.
Let me just say this real quick. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. Especially if you're a mod, no disrespectful comments, especially anything about Kevin Samuels. Please delete that. Okay, because on my channel we don't do that. Sakina Ra. So delete that comment about Kevin, please.
It's funny. It's funny that Miss Sakina didn't understand the what actually happened there.
Yeah, I don't even want to entertain that. I just am saying to my mods and letting my mods are usually really on point. No comments like that, because I personally am offended. Yeah. And this is the dear friend of Kevin's, so let's be respectful. We don't even need to go there because
you know what?
Okay, let me say this. Let me get back on track. We already know that yes, men like plus size women. That's not the argument. But what we're talking about, and I want to get back, and I love the dialogue between you and Obsidian. I love you, Freedom. You already know I love Robin and Dulcinea. I love this. I do want to get on back on what he's saying in the book about in general. If you're plus sized, it's not like we're saying men don't want plus size.
You can get on and be a big girl. You can get on. You just got to adhere to certain rules and stipulations and conditions. But it's just like with a shorter guy. A shorter guy can get on. He just got to adhere to some rules and stipulations. That's all.
That is not true.
So talk to us. If you are a plus size woman?
It's not true for which one? It's not true for which one?
It's not true that a plus size woman has. Let me tell you something. I come from a bunch of sisters, and my sisters run the game. My sister Kim is my oldest sister. Her and her husband millionaires, honey. My sister's plus size.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, okay, I guess I'm considered plus size.
You're not plus size. Stop.
Mean,
now you're gonna make me up.
So you're telling me that
not plus size.
You're telling me that women don't have rules for shorter guys. That's what you're telling me.
What kind of rules? See, I don't know what you think about a woman and what you think we want from a man. But what we want is respect and be treated the way we expect to be treated.
Why do so many women get with guys that are F boys?
What's F boys?
I mean, F is like FUCK, and then they represent boys that aren't like aren't trying to commit. They're like bad guys or anything. It's gonna be a short-term thing, and a lot of women deal with them like they know they're.
Why are so many women getting with F boys then? If so many black women,
is that what he's saying? An F boy is?
Yeah, that's
what he's saying. Let's do some statistics. Do you have any? Because I can say that, but I believe. I mean, I don't see this. I didn't see this. Of course, I didn't finish your book.
Yeah.
A lot of women are single, black women, because of the church.
Okay.
Now I don't know if you address that.
No, I didn't have a chance to address it in this book. It'll come out in the next one.
Wonderful. So, do you think that it's which came first, the chicken or the egg? Were they in the church and that's why they're single, or did they go to the church and you get what I'm saying? Like, did the church make them single, or did they go to the church single?
Well, a lot of black women are inactive. They go up in the church and just wait there and think that Jesus is going to come down and give them a man or whatever. You got to get a lot more active
there, because what it is, it's not that they're waiting for Jesus to send them a man. And if that is the case, it's because they've been so disappointed by the ones that they have been with.
Yeah,
that's why.
But that goes back to the F boy argument. You said they not getting respect. They're getting something. They definitely getting something, but they're not getting respect. They're getting something though.
Oh, they getting respect.
Think of it this way: like for men and women, when we're younger, and we tend to do better as we get older. But when
they don't.
Well, I know, but
no, they don't.
Let me finish. They are just like, people say, when I was young, I would go for the wrong things. I would go because he's attractive, because he was this and that. Now that I'm older, I'm attracted to these better things, qualities and everything. That's all that people are saying that tends to happen amongst a lot of people, being superficial, not going. Yeah, it does. It can happen with.
I know black women that are silently middle-aged and they can't get away from the F boys.
Probably because they're independent, can take care of themselves, and probably that's all they see them as. That's all, but they probably see men as, because they take care of themselves.
But you said women want respect.
Well, why does that mean you don't get respect? Because you having sex with them, that means you don't get respect from them. That might be the kind of respect that they want. I'm dead serious. I'm being dead serious. Some of y'all ain't worth nothing but that. What makes you think that we're not using you for that? I'm confused. You laughing, but it's
okay. Let me do this. Hold on. Let's get on track here. Okay. First off, what I love about what Obsidian has, I guess, evolved into. I only evolved as far as your career and leading the manosphere is. I see you bringing a lot of women in, even women that you don't agree with. I just recently saw Sansaray on your channel, and you guys are having a really interesting sit down. Shout out to Sansaray. I would love to bring her on and hear from her. Talk to us about I'm going to give you some specifics. Your conversation with her, even if you didn't, let me rephrase it. Talk to us about her stance on hypergamy compared to your stance, where you're coming from with hypergamy.
I really don't
Go
know
ahead.
exactly what her view is with regard to how.
I do because I would love to have her on. I love her work. She's the opposite side of what I believe. I'm absolutely 100% from my research, from my work, seeing with ladies and as a behavioral counselor, with family counselor, seeing that women are naturally hypergamous.
Right.
She's completely against that. She looks down on that as far as women being hypergamous. So I want to hear you and your position as far as what you think about that.
If indeed that's her position, that would be going against essentially female nature itself. If indeed that's her position,
What? Excuse me.
it's
Whose
a natural.
audio? I'm sorry. Whose audio sucks?
I hope it's not mine.
Because it's definitely not mine. I definitely don't have a $50 mic, so I don't know what that is. Somebody said her audio sucks. Is my audio okay, everybody on the panel?
It's yours then, baby, because it's not mine. We only hear it when
Well,
you
I
talk.
can hear both of you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry. Go ahead, Obsidian. I'm going to find out what's going on here.
They're
Go
saying
ahead.
that you're choppy. But they're saying that you're choppy.
Oh. Okay, I'll have to fix that because it's definitely not my mic. Don't get blocked. I know these are some of your fans.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Go ahead.
if that's Sansare's position, then it goes against female nature itself. It's natural for women to want to mate with women mate across and up, and that's for a very good evolutionary reason. If women in an ancestral environment made it only with guys who were losers, we would all pretty much die out. So,
what's a loser though?
pardon?
What's a loser? Somebody that doesn't make as much money as you, or
Well, not. It doesn't have anything to do with me. It has everything to do
I'm
with.
just saying that you perceive that you think they should make.
Well, I'm not the one that's mating with them. It's the women. So
Right. So, but that woman may not see him as a loser.
But that's just it. If women across time mated with men who were less successful versus men who are more successful, they were putting themselves and their children at severe risk. And we can go across the board. Men who are less likely to be committed, men who are less likely to be ambitious, men who are less likely to be courageous. If they consistently made it with those types of men, humanity will be in big trouble. So there's a reason why women go for guys who are bigger, stronger, smarter, richer, more famous, braver. There's a reason for that.
They make a mistake. They should go who they are compatible with.
And they just happen to be compatible with the more successful guys. Isn't that an interesting coincidence?
I don't know. I've talked to some guys who are millionaires, who make a lot of money in my younger days and even in my older days, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just fickle.
You could be. You could be.
Well, I think, and I don't know if this is the other argument that comes into it from the other side, because I talk against hypergamy, but I think where it started is that, yes, we would always, you're going to want the man that can build a house, that is strong, that can protect you and different things. You don't want the guy that is going to leave you open if you have beast in the field or anything like that, and he can't handle that, then that's your children that are going to suffer the consequences. So,
exactly.
of course, we've always gone for that kind of side of the field. But I think capitalism has changed as far as what women are when it comes to hypergamy. And I don't know.
How has it changed it, Dulcina? I'm real curious about this. How has capitalism in the current environment changed women's natures in this regard? I'm curious.
Well, I would say because of the fact, if we're going for more so of the money aspect or someone like that makes more, now you don't necessarily have a guy that can go on top of the roof and fix it if there's a leak on the roof. And now girls are stuck with guys that don't have other masculine qualities because they're just looking for money.
Yes.
Interesting.
Sickening. I mean, girl, I just don't experience so much in my life. that even when a guy like men or something, I mean, you do. I have to admit, I would look for somebody who is making more because I do own my home and all that. So of course I want somebody that's like me, of course. But I'm just saying though, at the same time, men can be sickening too. I mean, you saying that about a woman, but men can be sickening.
Of course they can.
Okay, well, as long as you know that.
Of course. Matter of fact, that's one of the ways in which. And by the way, what I'm saying here isn't just regard to human females. We see this observed with birds. Like female birds won't mate with male birds that either don't have a nest at all or has a poorly constructed nest. They only mate with the birds that have the best nests. This has been observed with birds. So it's not just a human female thing. This is a female thing across.
But I'm gonna ask Dulcinea a question. Dulcinea, you met a man and he makes a lot of money. But every time you try to have a serious conversation with him, he's on the phone singing old songs. I'm just saying, like you trying to have a conversation with him, and he come up with "It used to be my girl." You know what I'm saying? You like
a guy that makes a lot of money, and every time you want to talk to him,
every time you're talking to him, you trying to have a conversation. Whatever the conversation is, he'll get like you'll say a word, and then he'll start singing the song. Or just something. I'm just using it as an example to say.
Do you sing along with him?
No, I don't. I'm just saying.
Maybe it's a possibility. The reason why he does that is to keep from hearing from you.
No, I'm just saying, as he's talking, or you say a word, or he's like, I'm just saying, if a guy
will sing a song that correlates to the words that you're saying at the time,
you say something, you're talking. And the person just comes out and he just starts singing, or I mean, I'm just saying things that people do that would
right.
you. Would the money make any difference to you?
Did you get with this guy?
Or would a man with a regular job, you and him get along? Y'all go have fun. Y'all go to the movies. Y'all do this. You do that. Y'all do this. Y'all do that. And y'all
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. How's this now?
You sound fine.
Yeah, it's better. I think I don't hear you.
Yeah, Robin. I'm just testing my mic. Does it sound? Is it choppy?
No.
Okay, I would
say like little things like that. Those are like the pet peeve kind of things. Those are like, the way he chews, do I like it, or can I live the rest of my life, or anything? But those aren't the things that really matter. I think compatibility does matter, but I think it's about like, are you on the same page compatible wise? Is your mission the same? Is your purpose the same, where you can actually get in and fit into whatever he has going on? Or if it's completely different. But I think that we focus on the wrong things, those things of being like what we wouldn't care about in the past, because in the past we were just more so focused on survival. So I think it has transitioned because we're not really focused on survival. We can be like, okay, I want this certain type of house or anything like that. But what I would say about hypergamy as well is why I don't agree with it is because everyone that I've ever known that's ended up in the lifestyle that they wanted, they worked to get there with their man. I don't know anyone that just let a girl come in after everything was built and was like, yeah, now I'll take care of you and all this other stuff. No.
Oh, really? I know a lot of men like that.
My husband says, if you're not with me shooting in the gym, you're not going to be there when the shooting in the gym pays off. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't have a problem
about that. I don't know about that.
Now I can jump in now that my mic is okay, I guess.
Sorry, I made my voice sound like a man's voice too when I was singing that song, but still, it's sickening. Sorry about that.
I heard you say something about nature. When I was trying to work the mic out. It is true, like in nature, different animals, different species, they choose up. They're not going to choose the lame male of the group. So that's what I mean about hypergamy. Yeah, you want someone to build with you. I mean, hypergamy doesn't always just mean, oh, he's rich, he's successful, choose up. It could also, well, that should be part of it, ideally, but it could also be like, you look in a crowd of guys, and the guy that's in the center, everybody's listening to him. He's controlling the group. Maybe he's broke, but he can get, hey, go buy me this, and the guy in the group will go buy him something. Perfect example. Sad, but cult leaders. You know, the guy that's leading the cult, Nature Boy. You know, all the other guys are just giving. All the ladies, even in that situation, one of the women in Nature Boy's cult who became one of his wives, she was actually with one of his follower men. But when he said, "Hey, I want you," she dumped her husband and married Nature Boy.
Right.
Wow.
So what do you, hypergamy is very much we're hardwired, even though women, we're modern day. I want to hand it over to Obsidian about the modern woman. I think the modern woman is shooting herself in the foot at the end of the day.
Also, how are they shooting themselves in the foot?
So we would say I had some technical difficulties. Obviously, I was talking about Santeray. And I do want to bring her on. So I'm just talking about her platform and her talking points. She can definitely speak for herself. And I would, like I said, I would love to sit down with her. But for me, I think as a woman, I believe that we shouldn't be walked over. I believe in submission, and I teach being submissive doesn't mean you're a toilet, doesn't mean you're a buffet or a doormat. It does, however, mean that you have a leader and you have someone who is the boss.
Right.
And the modern day woman, because a lot of women are disappointed with men, how they're moving. So she's saying, you're my equal. You don't control me. You don't tell me what to do. We're doing this together. And then what happens, though, when he wants to treat her as an equal, like, okay, then you take out your own garbage. You protect yourself from the creepy guy yourself. Let's hold on that, because the Black woman is not protected. I do believe that. She's not protected enough, but she wants to be equal. So I think the modern day woman is, you know what I'm saying? She's saying, I'm your equal, but then she's not being protected once she's getting what she's asked for. So go ahead and comment on that if you want.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason why the queens aren't seen in the same way as kings are. Do you know the reason why?
Tell us.
Because queens don't go and conquer. Kings do. Now, if queens go and conquer something, conquer a people, subjugate a people, and kill the men and subjugate the women, stuff like that. Okay, great. Then they can go and run stuff. So what I'm getting at here is this: for a lot of modern, I call them the sassy modern Black women who talk a lot of rah-rah. Okay, well, when you hear a bump in the night, you're gonna handle that.
See, that's what I said. They're shooting themselves.
Like my lady had a guy follow her home, and almost followed her almost to the doorstep. He stopped when she got crossed the street. She stopped. He stopped. And she went in the house, and as soon as she got in the house, she told me that there was a guy that was following her. And I saw the guy over her shoulder across the street. And I just simply grabbed my rusty machete and just chased him down the street with a rusty machete. I make sure I keep it nice and rusty. That way, if I cut somebody with it, they get all kinds of rusty stuff.
They get lockjaw.
Yeah. So I chased him down the street with a machete.
Wow.
All she had to do was just tell me.
Yeah.
Now,
see?
If she was in the situation, is she going to chase the guy down the street with a machete? I mean, come on. So a lot of sassy modern Black women like to talk a lot of rah-rah until time to things get serious and get real. And and they're the main ones running around talking about they ain't protected. Well, the reason why you're not protected is because you're not submitting. Well, you know what? I have to use my echo box. The main reason why you're not protected, ladies, you sassy modern Black women, is because you are not submitting.
Okay, but what about the type of woman that is protected, but you'll still take the machete and chase somebody down the street with it too? Because I will. I'll shoot somebody and chase them down the street with the machete. And I'm very protected. What about that then?
I haven't seen anything like that happen yet.
Why haven't you?
Well, I live in the city. I live in the city of Philadelphia, and I know people from city of Chicago. I know people from city of New Orleans. I know people from city of Newark, New Jersey. I have yet to hear any stories or any accounts of women chasing assailants with bladed edged weapons or going out there busting the cap on somebody. I've yet to hear that happen.
Wait a minute. You telling me you never hear stories about women chasing men with knives? Are you serious?
Chasing I'm not talking about a domestic situation. I'm talking about fighting off an invader. I'm talking about fighting off an invader.
Right.
Well, there
Not,
definitely
not
has
their own
been, but
husband.
I think it's like it's so minute, like of the amount of times the girl that dragged someone out of her car and because he stole it or anything, or the wife that I think had a gun and everything, and she protected, the house while her husband is gone. That's something that can happen. So I don't think it's about that portion that we can be a protective force as far as on that, but we know that the men protect us. The men are the ones that offer protection. Most of us are looking for men to protect us, and that's one of the main things we say we want a man to protect and provide. So we definitely can understand and agree on that point that we are looking for protection from men.
We would want that, but some of us women be standing in front of the men.
Well, it
Yeah,
depends on
yeah,
the
I
men.
agree with that.
It
That's
depends on the
embarrassing.
men that are there.
That's embarrassing.
Some of us is
How you
standing-
man gonna stand let your woman stand in front of you and take
Some of
all the flack?
some of these women do stand in front of their men.
Mm.
Look, during slavery, you gotta keep in mind, during slavery, it was
Why
us
we always got to talk
women.
about slavery? You know,
I'm
it's one
just
thing I've noticed. I'm going to write about this in my next book. I've noticed that every time
trying
we
to
have a
go
black love
to.
conversation, we have a black relationship conversation. At some point, a black woman is going to invoke slavery, roots, queen,
What's not is it not a fact?
Kinte, Chicken George,
Is it not a fact?
Jim Crow. You know what I mean? Colored for colored only. Why do we have to talk about 12 years a slave, all this stuff? Why?
I'll answer that. No, that is something that I think we need to focus on more because the epigenetic encoding of the slave trauma that we have that does affect our relationships. There is definitely slave trauma that we're still holding onto. But to say our women were protecting our men in slavery, it was not true. We weren't even protected. We weren't protected in slavery. So I don't know what other women have said to you, Obsidian, but I would like for you to look at Dr. Joyce Degree's work. If you guys could put that in the chat,
I
Joyce
know what Joy
Degree.
Degree is. Yeah, I know.
Okay, Joy Degree. Yes, Joy. I said Joyce. She talks about it, how it affects our personalities and our relationships. Because wouldn't you at least agree that part of this woman versus man thing has to do with some slave trauma?
No, it has everything to do with intervention by white liberals starting around circa 1965.
Well, we know that part true. It's true, but what about before? How did they get to infiltrate?
They
Like,
didn't. They didn't. The black marital rate was exceptionally strong from around the turn of the 20th century all the way up until the mid 1960s. By the time 1980 rolled around, things had completely collapsed, and that was due in large part to the welfare state.
Yeah, I was
right.
going to say after slavery, I mean, we had the most scientists, the most inventors. We had 50,000 patents in the community. I usually attribute it to integration, which even Martin Luther King said it was a mistake
Yeah,
to
he said going
integrate, and
to
he integrated into a
burning
burning
house.
house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that's where I think is the change. But definitely, we do have trauma from it, but I don't believe that it's why the gender war is going on or men
And do you
versus
know? And do you know the reason why we had so many successful marriages back then, Robin? It was because the black women were made to submit.
So what?
Submit. Let's talk about submitting. Let's go into the topic of submission in a marriage on a very radical level. I wanted to talk to you about domestic discipline.
Yeah.
You spoke a little bit in the beginning of the conversation about Shahrazad Ali in her book where she said, man to pop his woman. I don't advocate for that at all. I do advocate when I'm allowed to speak on it. I advocate for awareness that domestic discipline in a marriage, consensual, I'm going to say it again, consensual, one more time, consensual domestic discipline in a marriage is an option.
Yeah.
So I'll hand that over to everybody. I'll start with our guest. And then I'll Robin.
I mean, ideally, you don't want to be with a woman that that's got a potty mouth or something like that. But there are times when you have to discipline them. So I would rather not. I would rather be with a woman I don't have to do something like that with. But that there are times when that sort of thing is necessary. So.
But would you say that it has to be a plan? You can't just all of a sudden haul off and backhand a person. Wouldn't you say that it'd be better?
No, you can't backhand them. You have to paddle them.
Okay, there you go with the domestic discipline. Okay, so then obviously that would be something that's worked out if she's been getting over the lap or whatever. Domestic discipline is not always corporal, but it is generally corporal in there somehow. There are levels. That's women.
Why God made women's behind black women in particular. That's why they made them so big in the first place.
Okay, now he's doing his trigger thing.
Must be joking.
Go ahead. No. Before on a serious level, there are essays, just like discipline for children. Domestic discipline is something that people do. Now, what I want to point out is I've had a lot of my sisters, a lot of negative backlash from it. They have no problem with corporal punishment for children. There's jokes on the internet. Oh, I whipped that child's behind. Yeah. You're going to get beat. I'll put you in the hospital if you talk to me like that. Mm-hmm. No problem with that. But when you talk about two consenting adults, people try to equate it to domestic violence, which I'm vehemently against. And so I'm
trying to figure out why people are so interested in the goings and comings of somebody's own personal relationship that they did not ask for input on.
Well, people want pointers and tips. They like to peek in and see, like a voyeur. But I agree with you.
I want to make sure that I heard you say something right. You said that the women did not protect their men and children during slavery. You said that didn't happen.
Oh, me?
Yeah, I was to make sure I heard you right.
Oh, the women did not. They weren't capable of. If you're talking about protecting, like putting themselves in the bed with massa, I guess that could be protected.
They did. It's a lot of information.
So wait a minute. Let me say this. If that's what you mean by protection,
I don't want to go back on. I just want to make sure that you said that just to make sure.
Well, I'm saying, and I'm elaborating what I said. If you're talking about protecting where she has to have sex with the massa, be able to appease the house masters, if that's what you mean protection, yes. But if you're talking about like what Harriet Tubman did, those were, as we know, few and far between moments. I'm talking about protecting people without having to destroy yourself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So, yeah. But you know what? But then the black male slave protected in that way. So it wasn't just the woman doing all the protection during slavery. The black child protected in that way. It was an unfortunate system of understanding. I have to act this way and sacrifice myself to make sure this person gets saved. So that's my position. What do you think about that?
I can agree to that. I can agree to that. But the fact that I'm just saying that she did protect. I agree with what you were saying, but I want to get back to saying to Obsidian, that by no means should a man ever put his hands on a woman.
So you're against domestic discipline?
Oh my God, yes. I mean, wow. I'm a person in a relationship. I'm a very humble person. I don't agree with using profanity in a relationship. I'm very old fashioned when it comes
So
to.
you use no profanity under no circumstances whatsoever.
Excuse me. I don't like to use profanity. I really have to be upset to use profanity in a relationship.
What about in the bedroom?
I don't use are you listening? I do not like to use profanity in a I don't see why it's necessary. If a man uses profanity to me, he is disrespecting me.
So you're saying to me that if you use the F word in the bedroom, that's bad?
I don't want to use it.
You don't want to use it.
I mean, I don't know if whether you think it's bad or good. I don't want to use it.
Whether I think it's bad or good is irrelevant. I'm just simply saying that a lot of people use a lot of women use all kind of 4-letter words in the bedroom that they wouldn't under.
I don't know what they're using it for, but I don't. I think that using profanity is bad in a relationship. I just do. That's my personal.
Wait, I have a question for you, Robin, though, because I know, like, I'm not teaching my son a certain way. So wait, so you're saying under no circumstance. So if some girl just hauls off on him and is just going crazy and all this other stuff, he's supposed to just take it and run away?
No, wait a minute. I said in a relationship that I'm in with my man.
Yeah, well, no. You were saying a man should never, by any means, put his hands on a woman, right?
I don't. No.
Oh, okay.
Because can't nobody hit my son and think that. Well, he.
Okay.
But at the same time, I feel as though if a woman is to hit a man, this is how I brought my son up. If a woman is to hit you, I want you to tell her she is a woman. She's she's not as strong as you. You don't want to hit her. If it's a relationship that he's in, leave her alone because she's trying to send you to jail. It's a done deal. I'm not going to hit you. I love you. It's a way to handle things. It's over. We can't be together.
Have you ever been in a relationship with a woman?
Why would I be in a relationship with a woman?
The reason why I'm asking is because what you're saying does not work on women. No, wait a minute.
No,
I have to inform you that I am stronger than you. I mean, come on. Really?
No, why are you saying that when I raised my son that way?
But you haven't been in a relationship with a woman, no.
No, I raised my son to be the way I raised my child.
You haven't been in a relationship with a woman. You don't even use 4-letter words in the bedroom. Come on, stop it.
Wait a minute. What does that got to do with mentally? See this.
You notice how silent the other ladies on the panel got when I asked them about that. You know what I'm saying is true. Come on.
Why do I have to use 4-letter words in the bedroom? What does that have to do with how I raised my son?
Well, Robin,
what it has to do with it? What it is how truly unrealistic you say.
No, what about the next step? What if she does continue to aggress because she's mad? What happens after that? What is your son?
You gotta pop her in the behind. That's all.
What you say, Dels?
You gotta spin her around and pop her in the behind.
If she continues to aggress after
her little nail behind
I'm the man, I'm stronger, and everything like that.
I told him push her down, but by no means is my son standing 6'3" when as much as he does, going to just punch, pound, beat.
But what if he pushes her down?
Spin her around. He's big enough to put her right over in the whack.
She's coming at him like this. He has to push her back.
But what if he pushes her back and she falls and hits her head and dies?
I know, but that's why I don't want.
I'm 5'7" and I can scoop a woman.
What I mean, Nepal, I tell my son, listen, you have to go out the door.
Well, as long as she's not 300 pounds, I can't.
You have to leave.
But
that was going to be my next question, because sometimes you have to protect yourself. Like, you're not always bigger than the woman. Like, I don't know. I understand what you're saying as far as that, but for my son, I know I would be like, hey, you tried to de-escalate, but if
spin him around, whap.
You protect.
That's why you need to stay.
I would rather.
This is what we teach. I have a son as well. I tell him stay away from women with certain mindsets.
That's what I'm saying.
But they're the freakiest ones.
She's trying to send you to jail.
Which ones? The violent ones?
Those are the freakiest ones.
Are you saying the violent ones are?
Those are the freakiest ones.
Well,
Those are
I,
the juice. Those are the
I don't
juiciest
believe
ones.
that's not
Those are
always
the
true.
freakiest ones.
What's wrong with
Those
him?
are
No.
the bestest ones.
Freaks and saying
No,
the
they may be freaky, but they're not the freakiest. They are wild and I
They're
mean,
wild
first
and
off,
feral.
let's
That's
stop.
what makes
We're
it.
generalizing too much. We're generalizing too much. We're generalizing. Let's get back to women.
You know what?
Women.
You know when it's right and ready when it's hot and sweaty.
What is he talking about, Nepal?
I don't. He's triggering you. He's triggering you.
He's tricking himself. I'm
So, but domestic discipline does work in very many marriages, especially, huh?
You said discipline works.
Domestic discipline has been seen to work in Black marriage. It's very successful. Not hitting her in her face,
You get a roll
but
of newspaper and wear it behind out.
But have
Paddling.
you ever seen I Love Lucy, Robin? Like where Ricky used to, like when she would go and be mischievous or anything, he would put her over his knee and spank her, and like
Yeah.
for many episodes of that. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I kind of remember that a little bit back in the
Yeah.
day. I Love Lucy.
Yeah,
But
so it's not like a
I-
aggressive thing. It's kind of like a more
I don't-
playful.
You
Demand.
got to get it. That's the reason why you have to keep a number of like I have golf magazines and stuff like that, and I keep them around just in case I have to grab one right quick and roll it up. Wow.
What would? But let me ask you something though. This is the question. What would you be hitting her for?
She might get out of pocket.
How? What's out of pocket?
She might say something snide or something like that.
Like what?
Well, you have rules. You have rules.
I really want to know what she.
No, but I'm explaining it to you. In domestic discipline,
He's the one that's doing the whacking.
no, but actually, I know about domestic discipline, so I'm going to explain this, and then he can come in and talk more about it. You have a list of rules when you're doing domestic discipline in a marriage. She knows exactly what she should follow and what she will get punished for if she doesn't. Now, I'm saying if there's some crazy universe out there where people, I mean, somebody is a man is a sub and he's being disciplined there's a sub and a dom in domestic discipline, and the dominant one is usually male. So they have rules. She follows them. If she breaks them, then I'll hand it over to him.
For most of this, Robin, they know, and they're doing it on purpose. Like there's a whole, it's called a brat. It's like a whole concept where these girls are doing stuff knowing that they're going to be disciplined.
Oh, that's a different, yeah. Those men getting a little deep on the sexual side. That's not always.
Must be that.
That's not always.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's just I Love Lucy,
but when she starts liking it, that's when it's not effective. Obsidian.
Well, I mean, hey, we have to work something else out.
Right. What else can be worked out?
Are you tall?
Pardon?
Are you tall?
Am I tall? Nah.
I didn't think so from your picture.
Why you say that?
It just didn't seem. Your voice don't even sound tall.
My voice doesn't sound. What's the tall
voices?
I mean, I'm a woman. I've been here a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Your voice don't sound tall.
Your voice don't sound tall. Well, I have a very tall wallet. So.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
So let's get back to what we were saying about we covered hypergamy. We covered and these about the book. Please, mods. I don't know if you shared the link. It's on Amazon. The Book of Obsidian, the red book. Let's see. Do you cover domestic discipline in your book? You cover the appearance of women. Do you cover the hypergamy, women choosing up?
Yeah,
I don't talk about it a whole bunch in the book itself, but yeah.
Okay. What have we not covered so far? Is there anything we're leaving out?
Sex. What if you be with somebody and the person don't like you sexually?
Then you're in bad shape.
Yeah, because after a cinch, because it ain't about looks after that, or even about your tall wallet. Because if you ain't working with nothing, she don't want you anyway. She going.
Well, I haven't run into that problem yet.
Just be cheating on you.
I haven't run into that problem yet.
Oh.
Do you think that in the beginning, as far as and virgins or anything like that, had to do with that, Robin? as far as being like, okay, if there was no competition, if she didn't have a whole bunch of experience to know, she would just vibe with the husband that she got?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she would. She don't know nothing else.
That's good. I like that answer, and I like that
So you
question.
would probably have to get a virgin, right? Obsidian,
If you pardon?
right?
Well, say what again?
You would have to get a virgin.
Who, me?
No, that's what she was asking.
Oh no, no, I don't want any virgins, man. I want them. I definitely want I want me one of those Babylonian whores.
Oh,
Listen,
So
okay.
you want one woman? Like, so do you go by the study that says that that's going to be more likely to lead to divorce if the more,
Well, I don't have any
partner?
interest in getting married.
Oh, okay.
Oh, speaking of marriage, yes, I'm glad you reminded me. Let's talk about polygyny.
Okay.
boy.
I was very thankful that you sent me that latest information about what's going on in New York.
Yeah.
We're moving closer to the civil rights of people who want to marry multiple partners. What's your stand on that so far? Have you changed your position about polygyny since I spoke to you?
Well, the single biggest problem in the Black community that you're going to have with polygamy is what's going to happen when there's not enough yams to go around. Guys are going to get violent.
Girls, more women.
Well, you know,
one of the duties of an alpha male is to evenly distribute the yams amongst his partners. He can't hoard all the yams to himself.
Okay, I'm confused. Yams are
What is yams?
Like the women. So if the women, if the top 20% take all the women and actually marry all the women, and then the 80% of males are left, just because people usually use 20-80, then it would be the 80% of men that do not have the women anymore. So it's what they do after that. I don't think polygamy is, I don't believe in that 20-80 rule though, but
so you have to, one of the things that you have to do if you're alpha males, you have to distribute the yams equally. There has to be equal distribution, equitable distribution of the yams.
Excuse me. So you don't think that a man who is the alpha male and who has the most should be able to have more wives? Excuse me.
Well, you know, typically what'll happen in polygamous societies is that he may have one, maybe two, but that, you know, he like it's, so for example, he have his main wife and he may have a sister wife or maybe two sister wives. But this idea of he having 5, 6, 15, no, you can't do that.
No. That's unrealistic to me as well. I mean, I think the max is 3, but you know, to each his own. You just, with me, that's why I speak so strong, so openly about hypergamy. I think if a man does want those extra wives, he should be able to make sure that the woman has comfort.
Yeah.
So some people don't think that.
But that's a major concern for alpha males, that he's got to make sure that the guys in the community, you know, have access to some yams. Otherwise, it's going to be he might mess around and get a spear in his back.
Well, so you're saying he would share his women with the rest?
Well, he's got to make sure that the other guys have, you know, get some too. So, you know,
but not his yams, right?
It ain't no fun.
Yeah, not his, but saying in the community of like hoarding, if you have a whole community or anything, and you know there's certain women in the community, you'll only take so many wives according to how many women will be left for the other men in the community to have, or you're going to worry about rebellion. Is that pretty much what you're saying?
That's right. That's right.
So, but are you saying not your women?
No. I mean, in other words, the sister had it right. You can't hoard all the women to yourself.
Right, I hear you. So a maximum of like 2.
But yeah, usually about maybe 2.
Okay, I could see that happening. And on a very rare occasion, the guy who's like the leader, he gets 3, and that's a cap. So cap on the whole. So I like that I hear a bit of an evolution in what you were saying before, because you're still holding on to the violent part. And
Absolutely.
now I can, but I think what was said before is violence, polygyny causes violence. I mean, that's still your position.
Yes. You have to, yeah. And one reason why polygyny causes violence is what we're talking about right now. The guys, hoard all the women. That's one major reason why you can't do that. You have to distribute the yams equally. I know women don't like to be looked at that way, but women have always been the spoils of war. Women have always been the currency of men, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. You got to distribute the yams. Every man has to have his own yams. That's just how that goes.
Right. You want to, before we move on to something else, I have another question. But Robin, did you want to comment on this?
I'm still tripping. I'm saying I got a tall wallet.
Oh, okay. See, that's something that stays in the mind of a woman. You gotta keep it real. That's the hypergamy.
But I mean,
Hey, that's fine. So I want to say the brothers who are, let's talk. I want to talk to you about the brothers who are, they've got a lot of resentment that they're home to when it comes to women, specifically in the manosphere. They are very cynical. A lot of them, not all of them. And I think you're doing a great job showing men, listen, I don't hate women, but we're not taking any more of this BS.
Yeah.
What about the brothers who just, for some reason, I heard a brother on your channel. You had, I can't remember the sister's name. She's Jamaican. But anyway.
Oh, Chantel Simone. Yeah.
Right. So this guy, it might not have been that show, but anyway, I was listening to you and he was like, I saw a woman, I liked this woman in high school. Okay. And she never gave me a shot. Okay. And now at our reunion, she's a fat slob and she wanted to date. I'm like, for me, I'm thinking, you're still worried about her? Like, I guess, isn't it a little bit unhealthy for a man to really hold on to that type of resentment? She's in high school. She was a teenager. It's like, to me, he sounded a little bit like it was overly bitter. And I don't want to seem insensitive, but and as who has everything together from what he said, why was that such something that he wanted to do a testimony on?
Well, I'm with you. I don't even think about the girls in high school and that sort of thing. Distant memory. But there are guys who kind of ruminate on stuff like that. I don't know why, but I just don't think about stuff like that.
Are you?
I think about what the yams are going to look like in the future. That's what I think about.
Right. So, are you teaching the brothers with that's the black book, right? The black books. Yeah. Books. So, I mean, maybe they need a little bit. What you said is great. Yeah. Don't I think
I see Robin. She's kind of like, what?
What, Robin? Go ahead. What do you want to say, Robin?
I'm just listening.
No, go ahead. Speak your mind.
This is a facial expression.
Wow, you nothing.
Say it. We want to hear from you. Remember I told you don't wait till after the show. Robin has a lot of great input after the show, and I'm like, I
think she doesn't like the use of my phrase yams. I don't think she likes that.
I'm still trying to understand. Well, what's it mean again?
Women?
Yeah, it's like I guess it's like a sexual term for women, like yams, their thighs,
it's sexual?
Oh. Well, it's like body parts. Yams are
really?
Like the booty or the thighs.
Wait a minute, let me make sure I got this.
I didn't know that. It's about a woman's body part.
Are you still in the bedroom? Are you still there? Obsidian. What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong with me. I'm fine.
So yams is a woman's body?
Girl, he is so sickening.
I did not know that. Is that what it is?
Where you live at, Obsidian? Your last name is Ali.
He's in Pennsylvania. But wait, if it is a woman's body part, that is that's disrespectful.
No, it's not.
He said
What
he
is
didn't know what they're going to look like when they get older.
Pardon?
Are you? I thought you meant women were yams.
Yeah, women are.
Girl, this man crazy. I don't even know how he wrote that book.
You gotta get the book. I honestly get the book. Let's see, huh? What do you think about the objectification of women? Is it necessary, Obsidian?
I think it's a godsend. Thank God for that.
What?
He's in his bag right now. I know. I've been watching Obsidian enough to know when he's about to go in. Go ahead. Talk to us about the necessity of the objectification
Well, there's
of
nothing
women.
wrong with there's nothing wrong with that. That's been the great inspiration of men down through the centuries.
And I'm against that, by the way. But go ahead. I like to have my guests.
We would never have a Mona Lisa if it wasn't for the objectification of women.
So you think that has something to do with like the glorification? It equals the glorification of the beauty, physical woman.
Sure.
Hmm.
A lot of men are inspired by that. Sure.
By what?
A lot of men are inspired by that. Yes.
By what?
By the yams.
I don't know what yams mean, so we're gonna have to leave it alone. Can we not say yams?
It's in the Urban Dictionary, and it is that. Like, it is normally it started as far as for thick women or anything, but I think men, where I've seen them use yams, it's like women, kind of like it can be the essence of a woman, it can be the sexuality, but
Okay.
it's like it encompasses it all. The yams is like
It's all of the woman. Okay, I can deal with that. Yeah, it doesn't just mean like a part of the woman. So because that would contradict the whole men don't want the butter face, because the whole woman is the yam.
Men absolutely want butter faces. They just don't want them for a long time.
Now is the butterface woman a yam?
Of them.
Sure.
You be saying that men be married to them forever, have kids by them, all kinds of stuff. They be married to big girls. What's the rapper's name? I don't like to call her big girl, but voluptuous woman. What her name is?
Voluptuous women are great.
What's her name? That he said it first. I don't want to put her name out there like that.
Lizzo?
Yeah. Men be married to women that are big and love them and be with them.
I don't know about that.
They do. What do your woman look like? Is she cute?
She's 5'10" and she's NapahShadah.
Oh, she all tall like that, lanky and stuff.
She's not lanky.
Well, real tall though, but she
is tall. She's very tall, yeah.
And thick. Taller than you?
She's taller than me.
Who, your woman?
She's taller than you?
Yeah, she's taller than me.
Wow.
Well, what's great? You know what's great is when a man. I love when a man is confident in his height. He doesn't care. That's attractive. When women are tall and a man doesn't care about it, and a woman who's taller, even if she's like, oh, I want a taller guy, I want a taller guy. When she meets the man who isn't as tall as she is, and he's confident, she starts to submit to him more. She finds it sexy and so it's something women do. When you can't.
I was say when it comes to these couples as well, if you look at like the YouTube couples, the famous ones, I know probably you guys don't really pay attention to what's on the young people's circuit, but they go by attractiveness. You don't see certain looking couples really getting those kind of YouTube likes, getting YouTube money or anything like that. They go by like people are attracted to attractive couples, attractive married couples. They want to see them going overseas and everything. And usually they do like the women to be a certain size, even if the men are bigger. The women are in shape.
And you know what it looks like to me when I see that? I'll be like, girl, she's married him for his money. That's
his tall.
But they look because
you know what she had to do in order to get that money.
Been married or together since they were 16, 17.
You know what she had to do in order to get that money?
You guys, let him speak, and then
you know what she had to do in order to get that money?
Relationship, nothing.
Okay, what did she have to do?
You know what she had to do in order to get that money?
Nothing. No different.
Okay,
she had to obey.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
That is true, though.
That's not true.
But I would say
we're not gonna go ahead, Dulcinea.
There are like some that have met certain places, but most of the YouTube couples, like the ones that you can look it up, the top 10, They've known each other from the military. They've known each other from high school. They've known each other for a long time. They didn't have it all together when they met or anything like that. And now they're getting into the quorums of their relationship. And now they're using YouTube as an avenue. But the talking points that most people use, that's not what's happening in marriage.
I'm going to say this, though. Outside of YouTube, that may be very well true. But outside of YouTube, when a man is well established and very successful, he has the ability to move and he has great options. And he doesn't need a woman who was there with him all the time. He may have that woman. Shout out to polygamous. But he doesn't need that. He's not even, it's not even in his mind about, I only want somebody who built with me. And because of that, I'm gonna go to our guest. Let me see if he agrees with me. When you are a man and you built something on your own, nobody can come in and tell me, as a man, I'm not a man, but tell him, we did this together. I get to say, see, men don't like that. So a lot of men don't want women who built with them. They want.
I know.
So speak on that.
That's true. I agree with that, Nepal.
Go ahead and elaborate on
it. A man likes a woman to, But
I like a woman to be supportive and emotionally supportive, and of course I like a woman to submit. But as far as like helping me build and all that, no.
How many of you guys are marrying though?
Same time,
would you say? Because I know you said you're not getting married. How many of you guys are
wait, Robin, baby, sis, let me hear what Dulcinea had a good point. I want her to talk to Obsidian.
That's what I see about it. I mean, I'm fine with ladies going for it.
Again, though,
I don't see a lot of men like that are marrying the women that they would want to be with.
Obsidian, what do you think about that?
I have no problem with people that want to get married. It wasn't for me, but I have no problem with people that want to be married.
But I mean, like the men in your position, how many men would you say want to get married? Like they've already built, they're fine, they want a certain kind of lady.
At my age, I would say relatively few.
Marry that woman.
Yeah, I would say at my age, relatively few. You just basically want somebody that you can, corrupt their morals.
And that's what I mean about. Yeah, and that's what I mean about marriage that people don't know. As far as marriage, it's cool when we're talking about relationships can be either way or anything, but marriage is most likely building together. And there's only certain guys that are getting married. And of the marriageable guys, they're not often someone that's already built on their own. Most of those guys have given up on marriage.
Nepal, you let him start with that.
Start with what?
Did you hear what he said? He just wants somebody he can corrupt their morals.
Because think about it. Think about the reverse. Okay, Robin, we have to think about what men say about the prime. Because we know in the 40s plus, that's when men are hitting their financial prime. When we are in our prime, in our 20s, what do most women do?
Okay, I want you to go continue.
They settle down into their...
Most women get the best men. They go for the most attractive men, and they're not really ready to settle down at 20, 25. Usually women settle down at 30. I know in millennial stage, we definitely had the whole, people were telling us, it's important for you to have your 304 stage and different things like that. And you to go out.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like there's a definite thing of people being told from both sides, when women are in your prime, have fun. And when men are in their prime, have fun.
Well, I don't want a woman that's past her whole phase. I still want her that's still in the whole phase. Bring on the back.
What is the whole phase, Obsidian, according to you?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hear that phrase bandied about. I'm hoping it's still in the midst of the whole phase. That's what I'm hoping.
Did you hear that? Girl, can't stand him.
Well, there's the women that need that. So it's good they meet with each other, because there would not be 304s if there weren't men that need the 304s in their whole phase. Sorry.
But on some real, he do seem like he's fun and all that. So you at the age you don't want to get married and stuff, though, right?
Nah.
We don't want nobody had none.
Oh, wow. I just got a text telling me what yams are. Oh, I am not a fan of
Did
that
they send
word.
you? Is it from the Urban Dictionary?
No, somebody who knows what it is send it to me.
Okay.
Okay, well, I don't want to use that anymore. Let's get away from that because women, we are not yams. We are. I thought maybe it was something good, like a sweet little, like a woman a rose or a peach or something. So, Obsidian, I don't know how much more time we have. I think
Yeah, go ahead.
let me ask you, talking about age and this thing about hitting the wall, I want to talk to you about the new woman.
Okay.
Now, this is my position, ladies. I love you all. Please do what you want with yourself. Love yourself. Be confident with yourself. Don't let anyone tell you plastic surgery, they're done this way, or you have to lose weight. Love yourself and be feeling good with yourself. Now, with that said, I personally think if you are a woman and you're on the market, I hate not trying to say like you're an object, but if you're out there looking for a mate, you do have to be able to be in the running. There's competition. We got to just keep it real. Competition. Women are very competitive when it comes to looks.
Mic is messed up again.
Oh shit! Is my mic messed up again?
Yes,
it is more choppy now.
Okay, I basically wanted to hear about the new woman and this hitting the wall thing. What about the older women who are staying younger with aesthetics, plastic surgery, all the above, because they have the money to do it? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, they're in good shape. But that's rare in Black America. It's rare to find an older sister that's really attractive. That it happens, but it's rare. It's rare.
Robin, I'm going to fix my mic, so go ahead and engage. I know you want to say something.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it?
I mean, I'm saying I don't think it is.
Okay, so you think more Black women who are older in the community?
It's hard to find women that are older that's attractive. I don't think so no more.
But you don't mess with women like that though.
I don't know what you're trying to say because you sick men. But at the same time, I don't think so. I think that nowadays you can find women that are 50 and up that look good.
Yeah, but you don't sleep with none of them. You ain't talking to none of them. You ain't trying to get with any of them.
Robin, so what do you think? Like, okay, there's like Ashanti, which is well into her 40s. She looks amazing, and Maya, well into her 40s, that looks amazing. But then there's 25-year-olds that look amazing. What do you think a guy that has both options between the 25-year-old and the 40-year-old, and they don't want to get married? What would be their motivations of who they would choose?
Well, you're hoping that the older one is well, she's knows her way around the bedroom and whatnot better. You're hoping she's got more mileage on it, so that's what you're hoping for.
This went out.
You're hoping that she knows her way around things, and
Dulcinea, don't you think that there's women that's older that look good now?
They do exist.
I definitely know that there's women that are older that look good and that can break the mold or anything. I just know that it is, when we're talking about wanting something more serious, when we're talking about wanting marriage, family, it's something that you do have to settle down with someone at an earlier age, because
That's
you are
true.
lessening your chances the older that you get. But when it comes to, like he said, when it comes to the relations with people, I think all women are getting chosen for relations.
Okay. And still getting asked to be married.
Hmm.
Mm.
I can imagine that can happen if you were like one of the Babylonian whores. I can see that.
Girl, this man's something.
I can see how that can work.
And what are you thinking, Robin? What's on your mind?
Girl, he's something. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I guess, what do you feel about the some men?
I don't have no problem with getting no man. I'll put it like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people also it's because you go after certain men. So I think he's talking from a certain perspective. But what do you feel about hypergamy, Robin?
Um, I,
Do you think women should be hypergamous or
Hmm.
I just think, I just think that, I don't really think a lot about a lot of things except that people have their own perspective on what they like. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that no one can judge another person.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you like, then that's what you like.
Mm.
If that's what you don't like, I'm to really, I think in my life I'm where he is. I don't really want to get married. I just want maybe a friend, but I don't know if I want to get married.
So you
You
want to get a Babylonian whore too?
you hear what I'm saying? I just want maybe a friend in my life, but I don't know about me getting married and all that kind of stuff. You
Well,
know
what
what I mean?
kind of friend?
I don't know what kind of friend. I just know that that might be, and it might be because of the loss. You know what I mean, that I experienced.
Mm.
So I don't know if that's what it is, or maybe in my life at this time in my life, that's where I feel right. That's what I feel right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm working on something else.
Mm-hmm.
well, I guess what I would say as far as like understanding the whole arguments here is understanding like women want a certain type of man that does have a lot of options. So like Nepal was saying that then you're in more of a competition. He has more spread of the options. So when you are comparing a 25-year-old that he gets to settle down with versus a 45-year-old, even if she looks beautiful, that 25-year-old probably is beautiful but has other things to offer him like fertility and not
Mm,
as many partners that have gone south or anything, so her mindset or different things like that. So a lot of men were just bringing women to understanding that portion, that it is a competition, especially the higher you look up for a man, and then you have to be able to compete with those other women.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right to me.
Nobody though. I'm just saying. I just look at it as I. I guess even now, I talk to men that have money, and I talk to men that don't have that much money.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's just how it is. I guess it's just people's preference. But I agree with what you're saying, though, Sonia. But I
Hmm.
ain't gonna have no babies, and I don't like dealing with people who got too many of them either.
Mm-hmm. What is too many?
I feel like he's applicating me. I did. What? Put writing down an application like what? And she don't. That's
Well,
how
I do have that for ladies. I do have that.
you know what they should have it on you too.
Yeah, sure. I don't have any problem with that.
But I don't. If you got children, that's fine. But just let them be grown or older.
I agree.
That's just how I feel. Mine's is moved out, and so I don't want to deal with yours. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to deal with yours. So that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get a certain age and you done raise your children, and
Mm-hmm.
your children done moved out at a certain time where you done had your fun and you done did this, because I'm right now supposed to be out. You know what I mean? You don't feel like a bunch of mess.
I see.
So, and he probably at this point feels like that too, because that's probably why he not married.
Somewhat, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question, Obsidian?
Yes. Yes.
Why you got Al? My first question is, why is Ali at the last of your name? Are you Muslim?
Yes.
Me too. Salam alaikum.
Wait, salam.
Okay, I am as well.
Yes.
Um, I'm gonna also ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What's your sign?
Sagittarius.
Oh,
Oh.
no, I thought you was something else.
It's like, oh. I get that a lot from women. They ask me, "What's your sign?" Sagittarius. Oh. Like, what does that mean? Oh.
Oh, Sagittarians are great. Everybody's great. We don't have any discrimination with signs here, ladies.
Oh, because I thought you were something different.
What did you think? What did you think it was?
Not that.
I dropped the
Sagittarius kind of nice people though.
Mm-hmm.
They can be very blunt though.
They can be what?
Very blunt. Sagittarius, they're air sign. They can be very go with the flow and blunt.
No, Sagittarians are fire signs.
That's right.
Okay, they're fire signs.
So please hit the link. You can come in and ask our guest a question. We're coming up on the last half an hour. I so am glad that you're here, Obsidian. So happy to have you. I love your interaction with Robin. She's and Dulcinea as well. Robin speaks her mind, and I love that about her. You guys have a lot in common, not just your faith, being Muslim, but she, if I can speak for you, Robin, she also is you have a radio show, don't you, Robin? And she's in Delaware.
Why you just wait a minute now? He does not, because he already was doing an application. He don't even know where I'm at. He gonna go.
What do you mean? Wait, what? I missed something. What application? Who was he applying for?
He says he gives women applications to
My mic is so bad. I'm going to switch to something else. So I'm going to go out. Yeah, my mic is. It's something going on with the whatever. I'll be right back.
What's some of the most important questions on your application?
Well, it's not questions. It's just a list of requirements.
Okay.
What's the requirements?
5'8" or above.
Huh?
5'8" or above.
Height.
Sorry. Sorry. I am so sorry, guys. I don't know what. I don't know what happened. I mean, I know what happened, though. Do you have height, size, dress size?
He just said height.
Yeah, dress size. It doesn't. It's not that big of a deal as long as it's not. As long as you don't look like a can of biscuits, you're all right.
Girl, he is so sick, man.
You don't look like a lumpy bag of potatoes.
Girl, he would really present a challenge if it was a different time in my life.
Emotion is joining us with her camera off. She'd like to introduce herself to Obsidian. I'm still working on the audio.
Peace and motion.
Is that emotion? In motion?
Audio.
Hi,
Hello.
How are you? Good.
I'm doing good.
Peace and motion.
Is that emotion? In motion?
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Peace and motion.
Is that emotion? In motion?
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Peace and motion. You echoing?
Hello.
I don't even know why.
I don't know what you guys like.
Hello.
I don't even know why.
I don't know. Your mic is.
Yeah, it sounds like you have the stream playing on another session, and yeah, your mic is really low in motion.
I don't know if she's still there or not.
Emotion.
I think she's trying to fix it.
Yeah, but anyway, yes, 5'8" and above, really good education. Let me see what else. Plant-based
So
diet.
you're not against
Right.
women as far as gaining their education. Do you
Absolutely not.
say do you believe that career-driven women are the worst on the market? How a lot of men
No,
see their
the
career?
career in and of itself isn't the problem. No.
Am I coming in clear?
Yes, you sound so much better.
Oh, so sorry, everyone, to my guests, to my panel, to the audience. I'm sorry about that horrible echoey sound that was earlier, but I'm back. And Emotion has joined us. Emotion is actually our resident psychologist. She's usually a part of the show. She had some family things going on, but she tuned in and she was so compelled to join. So I don't know if her mic is working. Did she come back? Is
Yeah,
everything okay?
my mic is here. Hi guys, I'm so sorry. I had like little technical difficulties there. So, hello.
Hey,
What
hi.
was your question that you have for the guest?
No, I'm just, I literally, I just came in. I know we only have about, I don't know, a few minutes left, but
Yeah, they
I have
leave.
to say that everything that I've seen so far is it's interesting. So Miss Mr. Ali,
Yes.
are you are you what do you usually, I mean, what do you usually do? What is who as far as a relationship? You're talking about relationships, but this particular sit down, what we do is it's collective, it's communal. So
Hmm.
I how are you feeling about this show right now?
Feel pretty good.
Yeah, he's no stranger to my panel. So, yeah.
How do you
Uh,
feel about it? How do you feel about it?
Well, seeing that you're the guest, so I think that it's been pretty I don't know. I guess like when we're talking about being respectful and collective and conscious, when you're asking a question back, I find that it's interesting.
Let me ask you a question. Do you use four-letter words in the bedroom?
okay, I think we need a minute. I think that we need to start wrapping up and maybe talking more about the book that you're doing and the work that you're doing. So we know you have your book.
Yeah.
And you said you're looking into doing a book you're working on another book. Talk to us about that project.
Yeah. I'm working on a book on Kevin, and it's really about taking what he did in his videos and putting it in book form. The things
So, like, will there be women in there interacting? Because that was a big part of his show.
I will be addressing women in the book. Yes.
Okay. Will there be any? When you say like what he did with Kevin, there was a lot of his platform was the interaction with women, and him giving it to them raw, the information. So you do the same as far as giving women something raw, but I mean the format. Will there be any how do you say interviews in the book?
No, I don't plan to do any interviews. Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
uh when I said interviews, Obsidian, I thought about you. I'm so glad I thought about this. I thought about Pearly Things
Mhm.
and the controversy. She does a lot of interviews.
Right.
And so, can you talk to us if for people out there who don't know who Pearly Things is? She is a excuse me, a Caucasian woman who has entered the dialogue in the manosphere, right? And I guess they're called pink pill.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of controversy because she has put her 2 cents in about, I guess, what's going on in the Black love scene, right? I mean, speak to us about your take on pearly things and the controversy. If you could make some comments on that.
I think she's a breath of fresh air, and I think that she has a fresh take on things, and she interacts with a number of people. Many of them happen to be Black, and I think that's good. I think we need more voices in the conversation. Now, of course, a lot of Black women get triggered by her because she's white, and a lot of Black women regard white women as the boogie woman, Baba Yaga.
Why do you say that?
Because a lot of Black women are very insecure about when it comes to white women.
Is that based on some kind of a research project that you had?
Actually, it is. I was reading a very interesting article in Psychology Today that was talking about this.
Well, is that something that you've actually researched?
It's something I've read that other people have researched.
Well, there's a lot of reading out there,
I agree.
Like literally, we can read a lot of things.
I agree.
So I will say that Black women are, I'm kind of I'd like to stay neutral because number one, want to get to know more about. I haven't looked at a lot of her content, but I would like to speak to her directly about why she is what motivated her to get involved with that.
Well, I think the Black manosphere is kind of blowing up right now. So, and there's a lot of UK Black people that come on her show. But in her defense is that she's always been a part of the white sector when she's been partnered with actually white men that actually go out in like Florida or different things and ask random girls questions of all races. And there is white men that have a manosphere. We just don't really talk about it. But yeah, I know like there's a Taylor TV. That's the only guy I can think of. But there are white men that have a manosphere.
Right. Would that be MGTOW, Obsidian?
No.
So there is a white manosphere.
Oh yeah.
Well, now, was there a Black manosphere before the white one?
No.
I just say it was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
I'm about to head out because I have to leave now.
Okay.
I wanted to say to my sisters, I'll see y'all next week.
And I have to get ready to leave out of here too. Napa, it's been great. I got to get back to work. I got a whole bunch of things I got to do over here.
Yes, thank you so much.
Do this again sometime. I really appreciate it.
I love it, and I will see you on your channel.
Yes.
Just send me it's going to be Monday, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for sharing with us, and please, family, again, go grab the book of Obsidian, the red book, and it's also the book of Obsidian, the first one, correct?
That's
Obsidian.
Right. Yep.
So get the brother's book, read, pick his brain, find out where his full position is, and again, thank you for joining us on the SipDown. We will see you again soon, hopefully.
Thank you.
Peace, Obsidian.
Good
night.
Well, they go.
So, ladies. Yeah, no, I'm closing out. I just want to say thank you to the ladies in motion. I'm glad everything's going well for you. I know you had a family emergency and you still joined. I appreciate that. Yeah, I can go around really quickly and get just a bit of feedback from the sisters on our guest, and then I'll check in the chat and just grab a couple comments, and then we'll close out. We have like 17 more minutes. I'll start with Dulcinea because she's always so. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start with Robin because she has to go. That's right. Sorry, Robin. Go. Freedom.
That was fun. That was fun. So that's all I got to say about him.
Yeah, you had a lot of great challenges and great questions for him.
I just really feel as though that everybody is somebody's perspective. Everybody is loved by somebody. So I don't care if you fat, skinny, chunky, in between, however, somebody is out there to love you and to be with you. That's
Thank you so much, Robin. I hope you have a great time. You're
yes.
going to be out there partying. Give me a call.
Okay, I will.
I'll be home. I'll be home with my bonnet on, waiting for you to give me a call while I watch documentaries.
Oh, I will. Okay.
All right. Love you. Peace.
Okay, peace.
Emotion, Dulcinea, who wants to go next?
I can, yeah, I don't know. Did you want to go in motion?
Oh, thanks, Dulcinea. I mean, I have to say, I love you guys. You are such beautiful women, and I have to tell you guys that every single week that we are able to get together and respectfully, bring all these, wonderful people on is a gift. And and listen, I all praise to you ladies tonight. You have risen to the challenge of what we call everything that's out there, and thank you very much. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to be on tonight, but I want to say I literally had to come on at the end because you deserve to be appreciated, and I'm very grateful to be a part of all this.
Thank you, Emotion, and we love you. I'm so sorry about last week, everybody. It was the forces beyond my control. They got me. The powers that be told me. They reminded me of who is in control. So I had some serious issues with getting on, but here I am again. And thank you for jumping on at the end, Emotion. Thank you to Dulcinea. Thank you to Robin, Freedom, and to our guest, Obsidian. Dulcinea, you can go ahead. Last but not least, the voice of reason, the most diplomatic of us all. I love you. Go ahead, close
Yeah,
out.
I was gonna be the voice of reason again, but yeah, I think definitely Obsidian is one of the ones that can be very harsh and blunt when what he says. But I think so many men agree with him and follow what he's saying. It is good for us to have this conversation. We don't have to agree with everything. Like there's been, our side and like the View or shows where we're talking about men and we don't always agree, but we just want to listen to everybody, get everybody's opinions, and then go from there because I think this is how we're going to actually move forward, especially when it's so dire in our community that the men and the women actually come together. So.
Thank you so much, Dulcinea. Thank you for taking this precious time to be with us, the precious time that you could be spending with your family. Shout out to your husband and your beautiful son. And family, shout out to all of my loved ones. I see you in the chat. I love you. Sorry about the tech problems. No, this is not a $50 mic. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I am not the best with technology. I will get it tightened up. Shout out to Mrs. Graham, my beloved Mrs. Graham, Bonita, Tahuti, Tony42. I see you, Ben Frank. Thank you for joining. Everybody who's out there, I saw Juju. Thank you so much for your kind, beautiful words. Sakina Ra, we love you. Everyone, don't forget to subscribe. If you came over here to watch Obsidian from his channel, please subscribe so you can tune into more sit downs and some of my content. So again, shout out, and by the way, shout out to the HOK, Saw Netter, the GOAT, and just thank you for joining us on another Sip Down. We will see you next Saturday. Come hell or high water. Even if I can't go live on this channel for whatever reason, I will, I don't know, find another channel to go live on. I don't want to skip any more Sip Downs because it is a precious moment to share, and I love the build. So thank you, and everyone have a wonderful weekend. And if you do celebrate Thanksgiving coming up, have a great Thanksgiving with your friends and family. Yes, I said it. And I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Peace to the family. Shalom.
Peace, shalom.